that mistake of just not mathematically writing out correct. Some of you most of you still got the right answer, but mathematically up here on the equation part of things, you're not writing it correctly. So you still got dinged right there at the top. I'm in tomorrow, ding you again. Those start adding up. For every point that you missed, that represents 3%. So if you look through there and you're like, dang it, that was a stupid mistake. That was a stupid mistake. 3%, 3%, 3%. You can do the math. You can start adding those 3% back pretty quickly. And my guess is by the end of this, somebody probably can add a whole letter grade back. So let's talk. All right, for the umpteenth time here, what do we have? We have what? Tangent of 50 equals what? 17 over x, right? First thing is, let's talk. Did you put an equal sign? Some of you did, and a handful of you did not. That's not correct. You're creating an equal sign. You're creating an equation. So make sure you have small things like that. Okay, the other thing is, some of you went through, and up here you wrote it. I was fine with that. Some of you wrote it up here, and then you proceeded to give me the calculator ready version. Totally cool. I was fine with either one of those. But when you went through and did it, this is what I saw from some of you. That's not multiplication, is it? Which one should this been? This one should have been division. 17 divided by. So there, yeah, x is on the bottom, so this one should have been division. Another thing that happened out, okay? This was the screwy part. Some of you just totally messed up here, but what did we just say? Division, right? I think I talked about it like on the first day of trig here. We never ever write the angle in front of sine, cosine, or tangent. Okay? If you even try typing that in, it's going to give you an error message. Now, some of you proceeded to type it in correctly, but you're writing this wrong. So, fix it. Tomorrow I'll ding you again. But what should it be? 17 what? Divided by tangent of 50, I believe, is the correct answer, right? Go to your calculator. Okay. Next one up. Sine of x equals what? 24 over 26. Again, I'm being very picky here. Some of you did not put me a variable there. I'll take the question mark, I'll take x, I'll take y, but not sine. Sine blank doesn't do anything for me. Sine of x. Some of you wrote inverse sine of 24 over 26. Maybe that's what you were intending to write. I can't read your minds. I'm not there yet. Okay? Then you better put that -1 there. Go to your calculator. Calculator says what? 67 degrees. Last one, standing at 61 degrees. What do we have? Cosine, right? Cosine of 61 equals opposite. Nope, sorry, that's adjacent over hypotenuse. That answer is fine, or you could have said what? 13 times the cosine of 61. Rounded it. That's what gets you full points next time. Now, take a look there. Some of you had those top pieces correct. But then here and here on A and C, you can't round correctly. Some of you lost a half a point because you did not round correctly. What does I say? Side links go to nearest tenth. I haven't said it up there. Angles go to the what? Nearest degree, nearest whole number, 67. I think some of you said 67. I forgot what the decimal was, but what is it? 0.4. Some of you said 67.4. I took off. Some of you said 6. Some of you said 14. I took off. Those are, I won't say stupid points, but those start adding up. You just lost yourself about 5% right there. Okay, let's go. If you got again a question you want me to clarify a little bit more, please tell me. Number 2, answer was C. Okay, where we're getting at from? Nothing on the left right now. I need that shared side to get me that x. So ignoring that shared side, or sorry, ignoring that right side at the moment. Staying at the 70. Okay, I've got an adjacent, I've got a hypotenuse, I've got cosine. We got cosine. You did up above, you can do it right here. y is the 29 times the cosine of 70. Now, as we can see, my answers are calculator's useless. Okay, it's all multiple choice. This is a good SAT question. Now, we know what y is. Keep in mind, you've locked in y. You know what y is. Now, go stand, ignore that, stand at 39. Sine of 39. Sine, because we have opposite over hypotenuse. You know what y is. You're solving for x. You know what y is. Y is a number. Put a number in there. I don't care. Okay? But you know what y is. Y is locked in as 29 cosine of 70. And as we did up on the very first one, you have to say it's division. X is going to be y divided by the sine of 39. You know what y is. We're going to substitute in. We're going to replace y as 29 cosine of 70 divided by the sine of 39. Okay. So that's what we chose letter C. It's a good one. It's a good SAT question. Freshmen, you're not going to see that. Sophomores, you could probably see it on the PSAT, SAT. All right, roll. Let's go. Number 3. I was expecting a little bit better on number 3, so let's fix this tomorrow. Number 8, taking it backwards to that y. You got your formula sheet. It's in front of you. Okay. 8 is 45. S root 2. 8 is what we got. 8 is equal to s root 2. Unfortunately, we got to divide. Okay, you can't just go say, hey, it's 5, it's 4, it's 2. Nope, you got to divide and rationalize. Some of you can do that in your head. Cool. Some of you, you were almost there. So we rationalize that denominator. We get 8 root 2 over a perfect square of 4. And square root of 4 is 2. Boom. Reduces to 4. Now, some of you made a silly mistake right here. You did not pay attention to what variable you just found. What variable did we just find? Yep. Some of you just did not put that in the right blank. Maybe that jacked up the next part for you. We're into the 30, 60, 90 now. That 30, 60, 90 represents the hypotenuse. 30, 60, 90, that's the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse takes me right here to the x. That's going to give me the the short leg. So 4 root 2, that's the hypotenuse, divided by 2. Some of you try to rationalize that. There's no rationalizing there, guys. It's just 4 divided by 2. What's 4 divided by 2? 2 root 2. Okay? So, see what you did. My guess is some of you probably are seeing some of those mistakes. That's good. That's the plan. Okay, number 4. A lot of halves. A lot of halves on number 4. Let's take a look at that one. Fortunately, it's not a half. Give me a 30, 60, 90. Again, you have your formula sheet there in front of you. A 30, 60, 90 says what? X root 3, and 2x. Put a number in for that x. 1 root 3, and 2. 5 root 3, and 10. 1,000 root 3, and 2,000. I don't care. Just put a number, but it goes simple. Standing at 30, what's the cosine ratio? Adjacent over hypotenuse. So if you said 1 over 2, you gave me the cosine of 60. What should your be? Cosine of 30. Do we even have to simplify? Do we even have to rationalize? No. So take a look, see what you did. Some of you are very close off that. Just pay a little more close attention tomorrow. Okay? All right. I was really disappointed on number 5. I thought that was going to go a lot better than it did. So let's fix this one again for tomorrow. Because if you screwed up here, all right, maybe on that first part, creating that triangle, or on that next one, it's going to really jack up your reciprocal functions then. Okay, throw in that tangent ratio. Tangent ratio, first off, is opposite over adjacent. Here's my x. I even put it at the bottom for you. Okay, I didn't screw with the, I didn't put the top. Tangent ratio is what? Opposite over adjacent. 3, 4, and 5, right? What's that? The hypotenuse. Go find me the angle. What's the angle there? How can I go find the angle there? It's tangent ratio. I get the angle immediately. Inverse tangent. Go to your calculator. What's the inverse tangent of 3/4? Calculator says 37 degrees. Okay? So find me that angle. It says it's about 37 degrees. That's it. There's nothing more to that. You got trig right in front of you. You're done. Hell, it gave you the equation to start off with. All those reciprocal functions are the flips of all my originals. We get cotangent immediately because we get tangent to start off with. 1 over tangent. So what is that? 4/3, right? Okay, secant. Secant goes with what? Secant is reciprocal of cosine. S goes with C. So I'm going to go get cosine first. Cosine is what? 4/5. The reciprocal 4/5 is what? 5/4. S goes with C. C goes with S. Cosecant goes with sine. Reciprocal of sine. What is sine? 3/5. So what you get? 5/3. Some of you lost 4 right there. 4 right there gives you 12%. That was kind of like some of you. That was the twist of the knife. All right. So fix those right there on that front side. Like I said, some of you go up with letter grade very quickly, or letter grade and a half very quickly than tomorrow. Okay. That's where some of you probably need today. Study off on that tonight. Look over those again. Tomorrow morning, getting that Pop-Tart. Look over that again. Your Pop-Tart. I got it. Strawberry Pop-Tarts still the answer to that question. Yes. Chocolate's pretty good too. Okay. Heated or unheated? Toasted or untoasted? Toasted. This is just like some butter. Yeah, she likes it with butter. I get it. I'm fine with it untoasted. I'm right with that. All right. Let's go to the next page. On to the next page. What do we got? At the top, I was very pleased at the top there. Thank you guys. Those are some of my SAT questions there. Standing at where? Angle B, the sine of B. And as we do the sine of B, I would go write that ratio and see what we got there. Okay? So, give me one moment. Again, I was pretty pleased off that. Thank you. I think today is the first day of spring. Was that yesterday? Was it yesterday? All right. Spring. Yeah. Spring equinox. Means what? The sun was back at the equator, 22.5 degrees. So that we keep getting closer to that sun then. All right. Sine of B, standing at B. Sine is what? B over A. So I want everything to be B over A. I see 1. Nope. Okay. The other 2 possibilities, well, cosine of B is not. Cosine is C, standing at C now. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. That gets me another B over A. So thank you on that. I was very pleased there. Number 7, I was also very pleased. Letter A was it. The sine of theta. Theta is just a variable we said. And this turned out to be Pythagorean theorem to find me that missing side, and that was a 5. This is another, again, Pythagorean triple. 3, 4, 5 is our most popular. 5, 12, 13 again is one of our other popular ones. If you remember, cool. But sine theta is 5/13. Good. All right. Everybody needs to pay attention here. Okay? I'd say everybody, maybe besides between my 3 classes, I could probably count on like this many hands. Okay? So, let's talk about Captain Roger here. Okay? If there's any fans of the movie Airplane out there. Okay, it's an old 1980 movie. It's a hilarious movie. It's considered one of the most funny comedies out there. So if you've ever not, I guess nobody mentioned it, Airplane the movie. It's a great comedy movie. Okay, there's a scene about Captain Roger and over. It's a good comedy sketch. All right, I digress again. Captain Rogers flying an airplane at an altitude of 2,200 feet. That was given to you. Where I was checking to see is you put the angle of depression in the right place, and no, some of you depressed me. Okay, everybody's got this imaginary horizontal line. Even Captain Roger, what is always below? is directly below it's directly below the horizontal. So why in the heck are you putting it off the vertical? I don't know. Okay, some of you do. A lot of you did. And then you're done. You're dead. Captain Rogers going right into that house then. All right? You were done for. This was, that was it. That wasn't going to be right. Okay? It is directly below the horizontal. So if that was you, okay, that was it. You were done. Everything was messed up. It is directly below the horizontal. So, you gotta make that better tomorrow. Okay? Now, some of you had that right. Oh, and where's that variable going now? Write and solve an equation to find the horizontal distance. Where's my horizontal distance at? Is that my horizontal distance? No, where's my horizontal distance? It is the bottom leg, right? Yeah. So, a couple things there. Let's think a little bit more clearly tomorrow with that one. All right? I totally expected this one to not go stellar. I did expect that. But let's try a little better tomorrow, okay? All right. I myself, we talked about this. I like to bring in that 20 back into this as an angle of elevation from somebody's at the door. From the house's perspective, looking up to the plane. That is a angle of elevation, so I always bring that on in. So I do like to bring that on in because I like it inside my picture. But now set it up. All right, we're just going through this right now. And what do we got? We got a tangent of 20 equals 2200 over x. And what happened with a lot of you guys is you had x over, I think, 2200. Go to your calculator as, whoops, too many, as that. And instead of what some of you had, you should have 6,044.5 feet. Okay? So, let's fix that compression tomorrow. Okay? Let's not depress me tomorrow. Any more than depressed. Okay, number 9. Number 9 looked a little bit better. That's good. Angles of elevation usually are a little bit better. So, on the depression, I'm sorry, on the elevation here with Ted, all right, gotta throw both things in there. Ted is standing how far away? 492.2 and looking up. Always built to a horizontal. Now we don't have Ted's height, do we? So we're going straight to the ground off that. Angle of elevation is right above that horizontal. Boom. I had a couple of you put that 42 up at the top angle. There's no horizontal up there. Always above the horizontal. Height of the Empire State Building. I got a handful of you that did that. Is that the height of the Empire State Building? No. I feel like, no, that's where's the Empire State Building at? I don't know about that, but let's fix that tomorrow, guys. Okay, tangent of what? 42 equals x over 492.2. Multiplication is what it is. 443 point something, 2 meters. Okay? So, one more time, that was pretty good. A handful of you did a couple silly things. Angle of elevation should be here, and the x should be definitely the height of the building. All right, what do we have? We have angle similarity. Y, angle D is congruent to angle A, angle E is congruent to angle B, angle. Now that we said that they are similar, we can go ahead and use trig here to find out angle A. Pick any trig that you want. Any trig function up there. We have all 3 sides. Just pick a trig function, sine, cosine, or tangent. I don't care. Standing at angle D, I'm going to go sine, because why not? Sine of D is opposite over hypotenuse. I'm doing our inverse function. And whatever you get for angle D is going to be the same, because they are congruent. 23, I think it was, right? 23 degrees. That was pretty good. I was happy there. Now, number 11, I was a little ticked off about. We've done a bunch of these. And the biggest reason I realize is for some of you, you can't graph. Or you graphed and then you can't read your own graph. The graph is there if you need it. It's not needed though, because we said it always goes back to the slope. And what I saw from several of you guys is that 2/3, you weren't creating a similar triangle. So what do I mean by that? It always goes back to the slope. It's going to be a tangent ratio no matter what. All I was looking for is the tangent of x equals 2/3. But some of you made that triangle with slope, and when you brought it down, you said 2/3 is equivalent to, like, I saw some 6/8 up there. 6/8 and 2/3. What times 2/3 can take you to 6/8? Can anything do that? No, but some of you did. Some of you said that's a 6/8 equivalence. Not the case. So all that is taking back to 2/3. The inverse tangent of 2/3 is what I'm asking you for. I'll put that back on there if you need it, but it's not really necessary because it's just the rise and the run every freaking time. Go to your calculator, and what was it? 34 degrees. That angle that keeps getting formed off of that line, it's going to be 34 degrees. It's going to be a tangent every single time. And last one, it was about 50/50. You can't put that in your calculator. Okay, you cannot put in the cosecant. Now, some of you said this then, you knew C goes with S, you knew it was the sine of 47, and then you put that in your calculator, but what's the problem with that? It's not the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of that? Yep, 1 over. Sine of 47 is not the same thing as the cosecant of 47. 1 over it is. Round it to the nearest hundredth. Some of you do not know how to round. It is not 1.38. What should it have been? 1 point what? That's better. Some of you do not know how to round and just caught yourself 3%. Go back and talk to your previous math teachers. Rounding skills should have been done a long time ago. What's that? I know, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but those type of small things just really start adding up, okay? So just tomorrow be more cognizant of that. We got time, let's go, let's flip. This is your time. Now, do not toss this, do not, a minute ago. Think about 19 though, or sorry, 17 though is, it's not in slope-intercept form. So we gotta first bring in our algebra skills to rearrange it, see what our slope is. And then our slope will take it right to tangent immediately. Graph is there, but it's not really helpful. I see it's 45. So what does that mean? It means our slope had to be 1. So how do I get to that y equals x? Y equals mx plus b. I add over 2x to both sides. X. Okay. And I get y by itself. Okay. And then after that, I get divided by -2. And then when I divide by -2, 2 divided by -2 is a negative x. I guess I can't do that. Okay. And when I do that, I get y equals, that should be negative x there. So the slope is -1. Okay, the slope is -1. And with the slope being -1, who cares if it's negative or it's positive? The slope is 1 to 1. All right, the slope is 1 over 1. And with the slope being 1 over 1, that's my rise, that's my run. It's one of the very first things we talked about this topic. When the rise or run is 1 to 1, we get a leg of 1, a leg of 1. We're at this time in the game where you should be realizing it's a 1 to 1. It's a 1, 1, 1 or 2, a 5, 5, 5 or 2. It's a 45, 45, 90. Okay? So you could do your tangent ratio and you go your calculator and say, hey, what is the inverse tangent of 1 over 1? The calculator is going to spit out another 45. Okay? It's all about that slope, just like we did in the homework. Sorry, just like we did in the quiz a second ago. Okay? It's back to the tangent ratio. It's back to the slope. All right, keep going. What do you got? This is your time. through there, which you guys have been working on the last couple days. Excuse me, Brown. 16, you said? Sure. Where did my 16 go? All right. 16 here. Cool. And you said letter B, right? Sure. So first thing is on 16, B, it's talking about a 45. Okay, secant to 45. I'm bringing in that 45. So if I don't have a picture, I'm drawing out that picture tomorrow. All right. If I don't have that picture, I'm drawing out that picture. Did I give you a picture on that one or not? No. So on my answer key, that's what I did. Okay. I brought out a 1, 1, 1 root 2 because it says 45 degrees. So I looked at my formula sheet. It says what? S root 2. I put in a 1, 1, 1 root 2. Okay. 45. I get to know secant. Secant goes back to what? It's the reciprocal of cosine. Okay. I get cosine ratio. I'm solid. Okay. Cosine, cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine is 1 over root 2. Flip it. Once I get the cosine ratio, do its reciprocal. And when I do its reciprocal, I don't have to worry about rationalizing because it took care of itself. Okay? Yeah, that's it on that one. And the same thing happened on C and D. C and D, I needed my 30-60. All right? They said both 30s. Cool. On that one, I didn't give you the picture, but what I did for myself was I wrote the picture out. I went x, what is it? X root 3 and 2x. So I said 1 root 3 and 2. And after that, sine ratio was opposite over hypotenuse. I'm done. Tangent. All right, tangent, tangent, tangent. Opposite over adjacent, which is great. That's going to get you half points tomorrow. You got to realize I got to rationalize. Root 3 over root 3. And that's where I get root 3 over 3 then. Okay. Good questions there. Let's see it again. We saw on the quiz. Let's see it again. Your time as you're flipping through things. Questions, clarifications. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Sam. 1D. Which one? 1D. 1D. I don't know where it's at. Guess not there. 1D. Keep going, Dave. Alright, 1D. Alright, so what I'm looking for on 1D is, I look at that. Now 1D, stand at the angle. And I get an opposite and I get a hypotenuse. An opposite and hypotenuse means what? Sine, cosine, or tangent. That's a sine, isn't it? Opposite over hypotenuse. Okay? And with that, I'm good. That's the first thing I'm going to get in check. Okay? I want it written up correctly. Second thing I'm going to, again, I'll take that, or the second thing I will do from you is, like I said, I'll take the calculator ready version. Several of you put that version up there. Either one's cool. One of those two things I want correct though. Go to your calculator, again, plug it in. Actually, this one falls into the trap of being I was going to say perfect square. What is that? 30, 60, 90. Special right, dang. A special right. I could not find that for the life of me. I know. I could not find that for the life of me. I'm in degree mode. I'm cool. So, second sine of what? 12 over 24. And that's why it's going to come out perfect. Because it's a special right. It's in that pattern of a 12 to 24 hypotenuse. That's a double. If you see it, more power to you. If you don't see it, hey, that one we can do trig on. Okay? So, that's where I'm getting that 30 from. And as you also look through my answers up here, I got my sides going nearest tenth. I got my angles going to the nearest degree. Keep going. Anything else you got? Got a few more minutes here. Anything else? Okay, so the last bit of class. All right. I would again